Hey everyone, it's Larry here at LC Model Building, and this episode we're doing some train work. So we're going to build a apartment building, which is a Walthers building, and it's like a 10-story deal. And then we're going to also do a scratch build of a elevated road. So I'm really happy with how the elevated road came out. All in, I'm $10 into it, and it really actually looks amazing. So the banisters that are on there, I do 3D print, so I'll probably offer them for sale too in the future. But check it out and see what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get started. Okay, so I finished up the building that we started in the last episode, which is that one there. You can see it's kind of starting to build the skyline. This episode, I'm going to be building this building, which is a apartment building, basically, you can see. And then at the same time, we're going to run our tracks back here, and then we're going to build an elevated roadway above here. So what I want to do, I'm going to have tracks in the front because this will end up looping all the way around the whole entire table and coming back up through the front here. But I want to make it kind of invisible from the back side that there's a train there, so it will essentially enter a tunnel somewhere around here, and there's going to be just basically an elevated roadway that goes all the way down behind the city. And that's kind of what my plan is. So that's the plans for this video. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and build that building, which I did already start. I got the walls painted. Now, the one thing on this building, it actually does not have a back on it, as you can see. So that's okay, because you won't be able to see it when it's facing the wall anyhow. And I'm just going to put some board on the back side of it. So I went ahead and painted that, which we did. I used just red primer. That actually works really good for this. And then we're going to put some white into the mortar, and we'll do tan where the concrete work is. So let me pause a minute, and we're gonna get the track laid on the back side there, and I'll be back. Okay, so along the road on the back, I'm starting that part first. I'm gonna use this brick patterned sheeting, and these come in packs of, I think it's 2 sheets here. I'll know in a second. Yep, 2 sheets, and obviously you can see they have brick pattern already into it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to end up cutting it at the level that I want the brick to be at, and then I'm going to use these strips here, and I'm going to paint them concrete color, and essentially I'll have them every so far, and then probably one up on the top here. And then I'm going to 3D print a banister that's going to go all along that, and we'll have like a small sidewalk along it. So it's not going to be a highway per se, it's going to be more of a you know, just elevated roadway. So that's kind of what my plan is with that. Yeah, okay, so there's only brick actual on one side, so if I do my rub out on the wrong side, it won't work. So this is the side that we need. I'm going to paint these up real quick with our tan paint, and I use it's a Rust-Oleum khaki color in their camouflage line, and that does a really good, whoops, sorry, that does a really good concrete color. So it's that right there. So camo khaki, there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these painted, and then I'll show you how we do the rub out on this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so to do mortar, what I'm gonna do is basically take some of this vintage white, which is obviously kind of an off-white color, and I'm just gonna dip it or paint it onto the surface here, pretty much all over it. And I have the concrete pieces drying right now, so they'll be ready. And this isn't going to support any weight, so how I'm going to do this, you'll see, even putting the road bed on, it's all completely just for look, so I don't need it to have any strength or durability to it. It's literally a cover, so I'm not kind of worried about having it be robust or able to support any kind of load, because it's not even going to have a train on it. So literally the only weight that will get on it is some cars. I'll have some lamp posts up there, and then some people probably walking along the sidewalk. So nothing too drastic. Now, I like to get the mortar on here first, and then I'll go through it, and I'll end up taking some black or gray paint and just dusting it over it to kind of give it a little bit of a weathered look, because late 60s or late 50s, early 60s would have been a lot of diesel, a lot of coal, all that kind of stuff, so it will blacken up a little bit. Not to mention the white pops a little bit more than what I'd necessarily want to see. I mean, obviously you'll see we're going to wipe this all off, and that'll leave just the white in the mortar here. But I see a lot of trains that people do not, I mean, some people do, but a lot of trains that people do not spend the time to do this sort of stuff. And I don't know, to me these are the details that make a train look real. So that's why I always try to do this as much as possible. I generally do it with all the buildings and everything as I'm going. Okay, so there we go. Now we're just going to take a paper towel and wipe it off. Oops. This stuff's very thin too, as you can probably tell. And sometimes you'll get little finger marks there. To me, it's not really that big of a deal, because I can kind of weather around them and make it look good still. The one thing I may do for the next time, or the next set, is go ahead and cut them to size first, because as you can see, the paint has started to dry a little, but now it's starting to kind of come around how I want it. There we go. Yeah, that works. Now the mortar, obviously, will have the white look to it, but still be able to see your brick. I'm going to kind of cover up where I got my fingerprints on there a little bit, just because they might have been a bit much. And I had some glue spots on my my blotter here that kind of not bled through, but as I wiped down, kind of went through. So I'm going to end up doing the exact same thing as this on the building that I just showed a few minutes ago that I'm painting as well. And you can do different colors of mortar. I mean, I generally do white or brown. So it's basically whatever you want to do. Okay, so we're just about there where I want to be, and that'll work. So there's some inconsistency in it, that's okay. Kind of actually want that. So I want to make this so I can keep it simple, and essentially I'm going to go 2 inches on it. I don't want them to be overly high, and I think anything more than 2 inches at 87 scale or 187 scale is going to look a little bit ridiculous. So this is going to make plenty for me because I got like 6 sheets of it. But what I want to do is mark this out with my ruler that seems to be non-existent, and then I'll cut it. So let me go ahead and find my ruler and get this marked and cut, and I'll be back. Okay, so I figured out that 2 inches is too short, so I went about 2 3/4 inch, just under that dot right there. So that's basically where we landed. And what I'm going to do now is take a piece of my concrete top here, and that is basically just going to get glued to the top here. Oops, I want gel. And I'm just going to run a bead of glue along the top. And we'll drop it on here. Okay, pretty much just like that. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with this one, but I'm going to do it this way, just so I have gravity working with me. So anybody that is watching the channel that tunes in regularly, I've been starting to get the add-on parts for Bismarck arriving, so we're getting closer to that build, getting ready to start, so pretty excited about that. And yeah, more to come on that, obviously, but I just got the motors and a bunch of 3D parts that I had ordered, so I'm pretty excited to get cracking at that. Now we're going to put some uprights in here, and I'm going to basically do one like this, and then the rest I'm just going to make off of that. So we're going to cut it, hopefully. It might be easier using an actual razor blade, honestly, because this stuff I'm using is pretty darn thick. I don't know where my blade is. Let me see if a scissor will work. Okay, scissors actually work fine, sorta. I don't know if I like the scissor idea. I think I'm just gonna cut. Or break. That'll work. So I'm figuring for the space out, I'll need probably 4 per sheet. was hoping they'd measure out to something. But no such luck. So yeah, Bismarck is coming up, and in between that, I'm talking to a buddy of mine over in Ireland, and we're looking at doing a joint Queen Mary together in 1/570 scale. Should be a fairly fast build, but we'll detail up that kit too, just for fun. So that's coming to the channel soon as well. But we will light it. So it's a fairly old Revell kit. It's been reboxed like multiple times. Okay, I'll do one more, maybe two. And these will mainly be blocked behind the buildings, so I don't even know. I mean, obviously the wall will be visible, but I don't know how visible it will be. I do want to put it one right over the joint here to cover it for one, and two, just make it a little bit more stable. And now I'm just going to kind of figure out how many inches I need to go in order to make this look fairly even. It looks like every 2 inches will work. And then one will go here, since this is going to be an end point. That'll go right on the end, so it will be a little bit closer to the other ones, but really should not be too noticeable. And then I'll have I'll probably have a tunnel front on the outside here where the train would enter. I'm gonna have to make like probably about 5 or 6 feet of this to get through the entire city section that I plan on building. So this is actually going to be a fairly big wall. Sorry, I was just making sure I went on the right set of holes or lines here. And the last one, when we get to the end, I'm not going to put on until we join it up with the next section of wall. Because that will be a joint piece. And the other nice thing about this, it will be lift off in case I have any issues with the tracks or anything that I have to deal with underneath. I try really hard to make all of my stuff lift off. Like even that mountain that you see over there when I was kind of showing around, that is a lift off. Okay, there we go. And now all I'm going to do is hit it with a little bit of light gray dusting, and that's pretty much what it's going to look like. So pretty happy with that. All right, be right back. Okay, so this got done drying. I already did one section. So there's actually decals that go up here, and at first I started taping it off. Once I realized that decals go up here, I didn't bother over here, and I'm not on this side. So I also did this wall here, so down here as well, and then I'll do the mortar here in a few minutes after I probably spray this one. Obviously, I'm going to go back to the bridge, but I just figured I'd kind of bounce into this a minute since that's what I'm actually working on. Taping off, you know, kind of a tedious process, but it definitely gives you a cool look once we're done here. I did check out whether or not I'd be able to brush paint this, and it just wasn't getting good coverage, so I'm opting for spraying. Not to mention, spray comes out nicer anyway. So it just takes longer to mask everything, and this has kind of a weird tear down that you have to really just follow the brick line there to get it just right, and then you can spray. So I think I'll be real happy with how this turns out. It's going to have another kind of nice Art Deco look to it, and again, I'll hit this with some gray as well. As soon as that wall dries that I just did, I'll show you that, and then I gotta go ahead and work on getting my track nailed down. Now, the one thing with the track, because I'm not running the power to it right now, I am going to later on drill holes down in underneath, because we need to run power every 3 to 6 feet. I'll probably end up just settling on 4 feet, so that I feel pretty confident with it. But that's just basically going to be a bus line that goes down to each section of track, positive and negative, and has to work its way all the way around so the track gets consistent power all the way through. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. But like I said, I can do that later in the process once I actually have power, a power supply selected, and kind of go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish taping this up, and then I'll spray it, and then I'll come back probably after I get the mortar in and get the I'll go ahead and probably get the gray for making it look weathered on, and then we'll come back and I'll show you where we're at with this and where we're at with the bridge, and we'll start getting the bridge kind of put down onto the layout, and hopefully get this put onto the layout fairly quick too. This kit does come with windows, so I don't have to use my pre-printed ones that I ended up using on the last building. I don't even know if I did show them, but I didn't show them actually. Well, you could see them at the beginning of this video on that building. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So let me go ahead and finish taping this off, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got all the walls painted. There's our front. Now this gets decals on it, so I'm not too worried about that, but I'll get that done here after the windows. So what I'm going to do with these is basically just get them cut off the sprue and start to glue them on quick, and then the glass goes on top of that, and then the what do you call it, the curtains. So there's only 2 sizes, big and small, and it shouldn't really take too long on that. I do think I'm going to paint the window sills quick before I do this, so yeah, bear with me, but let me paint them up and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to start putting some windows on now, and these are pretty nice. They came with the kit and already pre-printed, and they're pretty decently done. So I'm going to get them cut and then basically just lay them on some glue and be done with it. Oh, but I gotta put the glass down first. So, the nice thing is with these, they're already exactly the size they need to be to fit right here, so that's fantastic. But I'll get the Lexan then first and glue that on, and then we'll put these on, and I'll do the side walls, and then pretty much glue the walls together, and then the building will be done. And then we'll get back to the bridge, or not the bridge, I'm sorry, the elevated road. So while we've been working on this, I have the 3D printer going, and these are the banisters that I got now for the road, and I'm printing, I don't know, probably about 5 more of these just to use. So it has the intermediates, and then there's a couple ends in there too, so these will work good right on the edge of the road. So let me go ahead and put the Alexon on, and then I'll get these glued on, and then we'll pick it back up from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the base of the building, and we're going to go ahead and get our walls glued on here. So I'm just basically going to run some CA along the base here. I'm okay going a little thick here because I want it to stick well to the base. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to use some accelerator just to kind of get it holding on. About time to order another bottle, I guess. Okay, now we're going to just run some CA along the base edge here. And right along the wall here. And I know you might not be able to see this, sorry, but I'm literally just gluing the side of the wall. Now, I will decide once I get this located on the layout if I am going to bother putting a back on here or not. And if I do, it's basically just going to be a piece of black board. No need to go crazy with it because, like I said, it'll never ever be seen back there on the back side, at least where I'm going to locate it. I had to order a new blotter, that's why I don't care about this getting all nasty. So, new one is on the way. I just got sick of this one. Another pack of glue. So, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get this pretty much buttoned up here, and then get the roof put on, and then we'll end up placing it on the layout, and it'll pretty much, well, I'm going to show the roadway that we're building for our elevated road and our railings, and then that will pretty much wrap up the video once that's all done. So I know I was talking on the last video when we did the bridge that I wanted to get the water done there, but I didn't get resin yet to do the water, so we'll get there. There's plenty of time. Okay, there we go, and let me just put the roof on. And that just rides up here on the very top. And I'm just gluing the top part where the roof sits on. I'm going to slide that on, and then this kit didn't come with any like roof details like vents and chimneys, but I have some around, so I'm sure I'll just add some on here just to give it a little bit of detail, because all my other roof lines have stuff on them. But yeah, there we go. That is our building. So we're going to go ahead and get that on the layout, and I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. Okay, I completely forgot about the decals, so we're going to put them on real quick. And these are fairly easy. So I generally use a decal set that basically makes the decal look like it glues. It melts into the building. So I'll probably do that off camera, but it's just microsol. It's just because I don't have it downstairs with me right now. It's actually upstairs with Titanic, but I can at least get the decals on, and they give a little bit of concrete type detail into the building. Now the weathering, I don't know if that hurt that or helped that. For being able to see it. I suppose it kind of hurt it, but I still am okay with the weathering. Come on. There you go. So I am going to go ahead and put these on a while, and then we will pick up back with the not the bridge, but the elevated roadway, and I'll show you the building when it's done. I guess I'll probably show you the building when it's done before I start the roadway again. But my printer just got done with some more of the railings for it, so we're moving right along there. Alright, let me pause it and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So now we got the decals on and pretty well finished up with the building. So I'm going to go ahead and get a home for this on the layout, and then we'll start or we'll get back to the road. Okay, so I didn't originally plan on doing this way, but I'm going to make sidewalks on there, and I'm going to end up using the same strips that I used for the walls earlier. And I'm just going to, every ½ inch, put a line, basically like a sidewalk crack, to simulate the sidewalk. So I have the railings now drying. I just painted them concrete, and the road bed I'm going to also do in concrete, because I'm thinking late 50s asphalt. I don't know if that was used predominantly in cities. I know in the Northeast there was a lot of concrete going on at that point, so I'm going to do concrete and kind of hope for the best from that. But I think it'll work okay. So the sidewalk look here, obviously, just trying to simulate cracks, not actually making cracks. And I don't want it to be a big, wide sidewalk. I want it to be actually kind of a narrow sidewalk. So essentially, this will hopefully work perfect for what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to have to pick up more of the strips at the train store this week. But that's okay, because I think it's going to give the look that I want. I already got it measured out. I already cut the road bed and painted that concrete looking, so this feels right how I'm doing this, so we shall see. The road length is a little bit longer than the section of wall that I painted and built already, which is okay because I want it to kind of overlap, so that way when I add my next piece of the wall and road in, they're not all in one piece, so it or not one piece, but one section. That will give it a little bit more strength if the joints are in multiple places. So I'm thinking this will be okay. But anyway, yeah, this is simulating sidewalk pretty well, I feel, and it should look pretty good. So I'm just going to finish the last couple lines here, pause it, and then we'll come back when we have the road bed ready to glue the wall onto. And I got the tracks pretty well situated now too, so I feel happy with them. And now really it's just a matter of finishing everything up to put it together. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it because really all you're doing is watching me put lines down right now, and that's probably not that exciting, so we'll be back. Okay, so for the road bed, I'm doing the exact same thing as I did with the sidewalk. Now this is basically foam project board that you would use, and then I painted it my khaki color that I've been using, and now I'm just basically drawing lines every 3 inches, and that's going to simulate my slabs basically of the road. And it sounds like another set of banisters are done, so that's good. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to do before I put the banisters on is just paint my yellow line down the center. I'm not doing a double line. It just I know how difficult that ends up being just from experience, and I'm just going to go single line, kind of like I did with the bridge. So there we go, and it's okay. There's a couple smudges here and there, and that's going to kind of give it a little bit of wear look, and I'll probably end up putting some oil drip marks and stuff like that, kind of like I did with the other road surface. So I don't want it to look too new. And we're just going to tape this off. I'm going to kind of not necessarily have it perfectly centered. That way you can kind of see the detail of the road, joint in there. Or you know what? Heck. Maybe we will do a dual line. Now that I'm thinking about it. Let me paint this one, see how it turns out. And if this turns out good, then I probably will do a dual. So, yellow. I guess it won't hurt to have a dual line on here. Okay, so there we go. That is essentially our roadway now. So you got both sidewalks on, and I'm real happy with how they turned out. So next up, we're going to start doing some railing here, and essentially should be able to just place this and go. Obviously glue it, but this should pretty much be a drop and go, and will give me the look I'm looking for, I'm hoping. Now there is end caps on here, so I gotta make sure I'm using the right one that I printed. And the end cap basically just has one insert in it. Doesn't look like that printed. Alright, well, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I don't think it'll be that noticeable when it comes down to it. So I need my nippers. There they are. Oops, I broke that one. But that's going to be the side facing the, I'll make that the side facing the wall. So if you haven't worked with 3D print before, kind of brittle, so you got to be careful with it. If it's a real fine detailed piece, you can use a hot knife, which I do on more detailed stuff, especially the stuff that I buy, like something like this that I printed. I'm not overly concerned with it because I can just print another one and it's not really that big of a deal to me. But you know, some photo etch stuff, not photo etch, but 3D print stuff can get quite costly. So if I have a piece that I'm really trying to make sure doesn't get damaged, I will use the hot knife. And then that glues in there. And then this glues on here. And there we go. That's our banister. So, turned out pretty good. I'm happy. And then I'm just gonna have to work my way straight down the bridge on both sides. And this is gonna be a really time-consuming thing because till this is all said and done, I am estimating that this roadway will end up being probably about 6 feet long, roughly, like real feet. So that's the first of many to go. But let me go ahead and work on doing this. But here you go. Oh, it wasn't dry. Thought it dried. It's going to show the camera how this turned out. So okay, so that was my Dremel. But there you go. Hopefully you can see that. So let me go ahead and work on putting a bunch more of these on, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm printing more banisters, so that's how far I've gotten. But I can, at this point, go ahead and put the wall on while I'm waiting for this to finish printing, and we're going to go ahead and place it on the layout then at that point too. The one thing I'm looking at that I really got to figure out is the what do you call it, the on-ramp. So I'm gonna have to build an on-ramp, which I originally didn't plan on doing that, but because I'm so happy with how this is going, I want to, so it's kind of the right thing to do. But yeah, as you can see, this is just foam board. I think I paid a whole $3 for it at Walmart, and it really, I mean, aside from the 3D printing stuff, which luckily I have my own printer, I think I'm in this all of $10 right now. So this really was a pretty inexpensive solution for the space, and I think it's really going to look cool once it's up there. So I'm definitely running out of this stuff. I think I might have another can upstairs. I'll have to look. So essentially that's how that will go. Now for the wall, to get it mounted onto the wall, I'm going to use 2 L brackets, and obviously there's not a whole heck of a lot of weight to them, so, or to this I mean, so it doesn't need to be load resistant or anything like that. I just need it to hold it so it doesn't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get them mounted into the wall, and then we'll come back and lay this down on there and kind of finish up this video. Okay, so you can see here I got my 2 brackets here on the wall, and what I'm going to do now is basically just drop this on. Sorry, I'm trying to do it while I'm filming at the same time. And essentially what the plan will be long term, I'm going to set it back probably about here, and then I'm going to need to build a on-ramp basically here, and I already have a road planned out to go here, so I'll have to build like a ramp to come up onto here and figure that whole part out. But train fits through, and it will give the look that I want to get here, because that's going to go all the way down through the wall here. But I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. So that's essentially where we're at. I will add lights to it in the future too. I mean, I have a ton of these, but what I want to do is some overhanging lights, and we'll get that. But I also need to extend that piece of road there a little bit to go back under it. So I could do the whole like road path underway there and all that, but I really don't want to. I'm just going to make it kind of a dead-end road that goes into a parking lot. So this will be a parking lot over here probably, and then back here you won't really see it. Behind this building there's a building there, and buildings over here. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. There's our new building that we built at the beginning of this video, and yeah, we're moving right along.